I'm sorry I didn't get it.
Good, Daniel. Okay, I'd like to call the Board of Commissioners meeting to order, please. We will rise and have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. Once again, welcome to the York County Commissioner meeting for July 25th. Roll call, please.
Brooks.
Present.
Fair.
Present.
Ziegler.
Present.
Sykes.
Present.
Overmark.
Here, open meetings law is posted on the south side of our chambers. It is in the hallway outside of our chambers. It is also on our website. Proof of publication was in the newspaper July 20th and also on our website. Next up, we need to review and approve the minutes of our July 11th Board of Commissioner meeting.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Overmark.
Yes. And we need to approve or to adopt today's agenda, please.
Motion to approve today's agenda.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Sykes.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Overmark.
Yes. Okay. We'll get going on the officials forum, but first, yes, we are in suits this morning, and most especially I am in a suit this morning, which doesn't happen very often. We had pictures taken is the only reason. There's nothing major going on. And I also asked our custodian to cool this room down. So if those in the room that aren't dressed as much as me get a little cold, I apologize, but it's more than I'm used to. Officials, do we have any that want to talk this morning? Harvey.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a quick update on your bridges up on Road 20. They poured the railings on the bridge yesterday. Next week, well, now they're starting to take the forms off of the deck, take all the bolts work out, all that stuff, get it ready for doing the dirt work. The dirt work will start next week is what the plan is. And then after the dirt work's done, then they can put the guardrails on it. And then that would be the matter of seeding and getting the thing cleaned up and taken care of. So the road could be open in a couple of weeks. Could be, no guarantees. So anyhow, that's where the Road 20 bridge is. Road 22, we replaced the culvert west of Benedict that was dipping down, put a concrete patch in there. Road really nice yesterday. That's back open. Right now, we're fixing on washouts and flood run over from a couple of weeks ago. We're now trying to get those straightened out. Other than that, we're hauling rock, hauling gravel, laying roads. That's pretty much what we're doing,
So no doubt the bridges should be open for harvest. I mean,
yes.
obviously seed
If
corn
they
will be
don't-
first, but
If they don't get it done by harvest, I don't know what happened. Because the way they're going, it should be.
Good deal.
I'm guessing in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks at the max, I
Good
would
deal.
say. So,
any other questions of Harv this morning? Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
you bet, have a good one.
Any other officials this morning? Move on to public comment then. Anybody from the public who would like to comment on anything they can at this particular time? Take a couple minutes. Seeing none, we'll keep going down. No need for an executive session and or general assistance cases. So next up, we will review and approve the payroll and vendor claims. There is one claim that I'll draw your attention to that's in the 2910 fund. I'd ask for that claim to be pulled. It's for the amount of 155, I believe.
70 cents.
155.70. Okay. Currently, we do not have a policy here to approve such a claim. There is statute that would be available, that if this board so chose to make a uniform policy throughout the courthouse family, we could, but we do not currently have that for other things of value, as the state statute says. So I'm asking for that one to be pulled right now, and then we'll look into it. Other than that, as you see, we've had detention claims that are still there and different things like that, but all in all, I think it was fairly normal. Anybody else see anything else?
Make a motion that we approve payroll and vendor claims with the exception of the miscellaneous claim in 2910 for the amount of $155.70.
Thank you, Daniel.
Second.
Thank you, Jack. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
and Oakland.
Yes, no funding transfers that I'm aware of at this time. So next up, we will, did you say something?
Megan, did you look for that one for the juvenile diversion?
Around your report, so you want me to,
We have that and the juvenile diversion, and then we still have that down here with the, I was gonna call you yesterday.
Okay, this,
That's
both of those
transfer.
should clear up this month
Okay,
with money coming in. Juvenile diversion will just be a timing, I'm sure, issue.
I didn't do that one today, so.
Okay, next up, we will meet with Jennifer Rasmussen. And whoever else wants to come up with Jennifer. Of course she does.
Whoever else wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
And this is just in regards to the courtroom updates that took place last month. And, you know, the project is done as far as I'm aware, done and working, and has been for a few months. I think we both were under assumptions maybe of what was gonna happen without it being spelled out in that agreement. But first off, as far as the project went, are you aware of anything that did not take place? Or, I mean, did it go as expected?
You might be able to, well, you were gone that week, I guess, but
Yeah,
yeah, no,
she was gone.
as expected. As far as I am aware, we have had one request for a change order, a real small one. The court reporter for district court would like to have a personal speaker at her desk, which we can accommodate. It just will, you know, work that into the work queue as we have time. But other than that, yes, it's complete.
I think the only snafu that I'm aware of is, or maybe a couple of them, we cut the internet one night, which, you know, got a county court person's attention. And then we had in the district court, we had a hole that we cut out for a TV. And then they brought a bigger TV in and covered up the hole. So I'm not sure if they're gonna wanna change that again or not. The idea
It's
was
supposed to be inset.
inset, and apparently the TV wasn't the right size, but I think everything else went well. The network is what got my attention, is that now, like I say, I think that was the part we assumed. I assumed you guys were gonna stay on your own network where you always were, and apparently the assumption was that we were gonna jump on the counties. So my question would be is, do we need to know anything specific if you were going to use the county's network?
Just a little background, so you know where the project, what kind of the standard operating procedure is and has been for the project. Generally, when we're in the planning phase, we talk to the courts. Sometimes it's a shared courtroom, but you know, if the courts have 2 or more courtrooms in a courthouse, we talk to them about which network they would like to be on. And the only reason we are geared towards having a single network is just for long-term ease of maintenance. It's just a little more complicated, I think, if you start separating the networks and things down the road, need troubleshooting. So just, I guess for simplicity's sake, we've been choosing one network per courthouse when we do the installations to put those AV racks on. In general, if a county has a strong local IT presence, good internet connectivity, then the systems have been going on the county network. And part of that is for the reason that we want it on the most reliable and best supported network in the courthouse, obviously. But also part of that is we are turning the equipment over to the county at the end of the installation. So it's just seemed to make sense that if there's local county presence or local county IT presence, that this would go on the network. So as county equipment, it would be easier to manage and maintain over time. Because the alternative is to go on the state network, which we have done in places. Generally, those places don't have a good county network. They don't have county IT support. Because the support for the state network right now is provided by the Office of the Chief Information Officer, which isn't the courts, it's not the judicial branch, and so it's just a little bit more difficult to manage and maintain when you've got that third party involved. So those are the only reasons. You know, it can, if you wish, we can move the county court AV rack over to the state network. It's just a matter of rerunning the data cabling to go to the state switch as opposed to the county. As far as the amount of bandwidth that it pulls at any given moment, if it's not in use actively for a Zoom call, it's not really pulling bandwidth. It does, the software on the hardware in the racks does go out to the public internet periodically. I think it's every 60 to 90 days to check in for licensing verification, software licensing. There'll be time to time a need to update the software, and that will pull from the public internet as well. But I guess just to, if you had concerns about it pulling a great deal of bandwidth away from other county offices and things that it might be sharing that network with, it shouldn't. When there's a Zoom call, that's probably the largest use of bandwidth that you'll see in there.
Well, I don't think bandwidth, we should be okay, right? Because we're supplied with a gig into the county, we should be okay. The IT part could concern a little bit. We don't have an IT person on hand. We have to make a call, you know, and get them here. So if the courts goes down, I mean, I suppose that same thing's happened if your system went down before. You just have to be patient because, you know, we don't have that here, you know, and I'm sure we'll do the best we can. And we actually have two that we could call, but yeah, we don't have that here all the time. And we have had some unfortunate issues with our internet service, and we're looking into that currently too, to see a better system or redundancy and stuff like that. But over the last couple of months, it's been kind of bad.
More than one would want.
Yes, yeah. Where it's the one time in particular, it was down most of the day, and the other time was 3 to 3.5 hours we were down with our current carrier. So obviously, if you're relying on that internet connection, we're down. So
Patience.
yeah, patience, Allison. So that was the main reason I thought that we'd come out and wrap up the deal. I knew we were accepting the equipment, and it is ours now with I believe it is a 5-year guarantee on the equipment. Unless you know of anything else or have.
The only question I was gonna have is what is the expectancy of redundancy? So let's say we do go down and court is in session. We do have redundancy. It's not immediate, but what is it in connecting to the county's network? What is the expectation that we provide a reliable service? I guess that's the only concern that I have, is that are we signing into something that we can't provide?
Good question. The Supreme Court would not have any concerns there. I think you have the same struggles here that everyone across the state has as far as internet connectivity goes. You know, some providers are better than others. You know, some places we hardly have any providers at all. You know, when we do state network connections, we go out for RFP and request bids from any of the providers in the area, and we still have counties in Nebraska where we won't get a single bid.
Yep.
So I think your reliability here, even if it has not lately been quite what we would want it to be, is sufficient. And we could also do a backup connection. In other words, run a couple lines to the state switch that also terminate where the AV racks are in the courtroom. The only problem I foresee with that is that as far as a disaster recovery effort goes, it would still require intervention from the OCIO, because if you went to plug into the state network, you have to open a ticket, their firewall people have to let you on, all of those things. So sometimes that process takes long, but
Sure.
you know, if you're gonna be down for days and days, that's
Right.
a possible alternative.
Well, I guess we'll proceed forward. Hope for the best. Like I say, we are looking into a different form of redundancy that just switches and goes. We just don't have that right now. It takes the manual switch to take place. And so if we are down, then it's contacting the IT and waiting for them to show up to do these types of things for us. So like I say, I guess patience and newness and communication with both the courts and us would be obviously really appreciated, and we'll see where we go.
And I should clarify that the internal AV system will always work, even if the internet is down. It's only
sure.
that Zoom piece or video conferencing piece that would not. So you could still have court as long as you didn't require remote appearance with the
But
internet down.
the Zoom takes place quite a bit
Yeah,
in the court system anymore, does it
Wednesdays
not?
we have mostly Zoom hearings for attorneys or inmates from other facilities. That's one of the main things we do on Wednesdays. So Zoom is in session from about 9 o'clock in the morning until between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, given, other than a lunch break if we get one that a day. So it's a lot of Zoom on court days. And depending on how many court days we have that week. So some days we might just have 2, other weeks we might have 4. It just depends.
And now we're just talking about county with you. The district obviously is doing the same thing, right, Sherilyn, as far as?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just have to, like I say, see how we work through it. Okay, thanks for coming out and meeting with us,
You
Jen.
bet. Thank you. I'm glad things are working.
Okay, next up, we will discuss an act on the MIPS program. And I assume, Megan, do we have, there they are, right there. Sitting right in front of the center. Gentlemen, if you would introduce yourself for the record, please, name and address.
Yeah, hi, I'm Derek Niederklein, Deputy Director of MIPS from Lincoln, Nebraska.
And I'm Matt Thiemann, Lead Program Analyst for MIPS.
Okay.
We've got some handouts here. Megan asked us to come and talk about the Nebraska Taxes Online service that we offer through MIPS. And yeah, as you know, the treasurer uses the MIPS treasurer's package, and that currently is used by 90 counties in the state. The Nebraska Taxes Online is an added piece that 73 counties are using currently. And basically what that is it's a web display of that allows the customers to basically conduct business with the treasurer's office online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on holidays. And basically it presents the treasurer's information, the tax bill, the tax statement. It allows them to make payments online. It includes payment detail, first half, second half, taxes due, tax sale information. It includes a lengthy tax history. I think it's up to 20 years of tax history that's displayed on the website, and it allows taxpayers to make payments directly. They're low cost payments, $1 for an e-check. And it's 2.35% on credit cards. It processes payment through the website and allows them to pay actually tax bills from multiple counties. If they're using the Nebraska Taxes Online, they can make one payment for multiple counties that they have taxes due on. The treasurer's package and the Nebraska Taxes Online are both built by MIPS, so they're fully functional and interactive. The MIPS, the Nebraska Taxes Online also interacts with the Deeds Online, the Assessors Online for counties that are using MIPS services on those ends. It also creates a nightly backup. The Nebraska Tax Online does a nightly backup of the treasurer system as part of the service. It is, in terms of cost, it's $149 a month. There are no contracts or anything for that service. We just ask, 30 days heads up if something needs to be changed or canceled. There's no setup fees. Setup is relatively efficient on our end. We can have it set up in the same day as it's requested. So, and with that, another benefit is MIPS. MIPS has been around for a while. We provide services to all 93 counties in one way, shape, or form. So, if you ever have issues, you know where to find us. But this has been a tool that's been around for
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years, and it's pretty automatic to set up and use.
So the only fee the county would have would be the $149. Is there the user fee of the 2.35? That's to the user,
Correct.
not to the county. And then there'd be links put on a county website to go to it, and our new GIS website. Can we put that on there also? The link from Sam over?
I talked to Kurt, yes, we could. So.
So they had easy access to it, so they didn't have to, because I know a lot of people use our GIS site to do different things, our realtors, our bankers, and stuff like that. So this would allow them access to what they were used to before with GWorks.
Yes.
Okay. Gentlemen, do you have any other questions for them as they sit here this morning?
You had touched on the user fee, and then, so that, like the processing fees, the 2.35 and the $1 e-check, that would stay with MIPS for your processing of the payment, or does that come to the county?
MAP's probably better at answering this, but that's through Certified Payments, the vendor that's connected to this function.
Right,
Yep.
we don't hold any credit card data or anything
I
like
see,
that. That's
sure.
all third party certified payments. And,
So-
yeah,
Technically, they're the ones that are charging the fee to process the
Right.
payment.
Yep.
And then that money that is that's processed there, that's remitted ACH directly to the county, or how does that?
yeah, it's ACH to the county, to whatever bank account that the county
Sure.
wants to use for that. It's within 24 hours, the county gets
Okay,
some money on it.
And then, so, is it a daily report that Megan would get as far as who's paying and what's coming in, or how does that, how does the treasurer's office know who's went out there and what accounts have been paid, et cetera?
Yeah, there's actually a real-time portal on the certified payment side,
Mhm.
where she can see the payments coming in, what's been approved, denied, pending, things like that, what payments have already hit the bank.
Yep.
And all of that is available, for now.
And is that integrated, and maybe you answered this already and I'm just asking a redundant question, but is that integrated into her MIP system, or is it something that she needs to go in and key in that, okay, this tax bill's been paid?
Currently, that is, she would run the report. This varies from county to county.
Sure.
Some counties like to wait until the money hits the bank before they process it in office. Some of them
Okay.
want to do it right away.
Yep.
So to give the most flexibility, they manually enter it now.
Sure.
We are working with Certified on some other ideas that we have.
And I think it should be known too that the user fee is nothing new. There was a user fee on our credit card transactions before,
Yep.
so that's nothing
Yep,
new.
no.
The new part is, jumping onto the MIP system and getting to that Nebraska tax which looks like would cover all the demands, as Megan had sent me a list of things that people would like to see. As I look through that list and look what's covered, I mean, it looks like we're checking those all off. Is that what you've seen too, Megan? That you know, so, any other questions? I mean, as far as timely hookup, we're going, I think sometime this week, we're gonna start our new website, so we would be able to get going on it
Yeah, within an hour.
within an hour, okay? Does that mean just as soon as you get back to Lincoln or something?
We need an hour to get back to Lincoln, so it might be 2 hours.
Well, I don't know that you're getting out of the courthouse that quick. I think there's an office next door that's gonna capture one of you, or maybe both, so. Any other questions this morning?
The 20-year record of taxes, that's easily imported from records that are here, or do you already have those online, just spilling it out?
Yeah, I would have to ask Megan how far back the tax history goes in her database. But whatever's available in her office is available on Nebraska Tax Online.
Megan, do you have anything else to add?
I actually have a question about how customers receive.
You're gonna have to come forward to make sure we get you on the,
On the record. I actually don't have a question for you, I have more questions.
well, that mic right there is gonna pick you up. Please. Thank
Megan
you,
Williams, your county treasurer.
thank you.
So my question is, how do customers get their receipts? Is it still that I send them to them, or do they get a receipt online?
They'll get a credit card receipt from Certified Payments, and then if you wish to also mail a receipt from your system, you could.
Okay.
That's it? Okay, that was easy. Any other questions? And is this a annual contract of 149, just a monthly?
Yeah, it's a monthly fee of $149. It's added onto the treasurer's
We get a
package.
monthly bill from them.
Okay, but I mean, we're not signing up for 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a month-by-month basis. Okay. Anything else, gentlemen?
Well, I think that I know that when I, had property outside of the county where I was living, it was very nice to be able to, make that payment. So I think it's something that we need to offer, even for people that just don't have the time to come into the courthouse. And I think that Megan's done some looking, and this seems like it's the direction to go. It integrates with the system that we're using. Sounds like we can integrate it in with our GIS. So I make a motion that we approve the Nebraska Taxes Online program.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? I will make a point that yes, we are spending another $1,800, but what we saved integrating to the SAM system away from the G-Works was a large sum of money, much larger than this $1,800. So yes, we're spending a little bit more money, but there is true savings. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
and Overmeyer.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Do they have to go next door?
I would say, Matt, can you stop to the clerk's office? They might have a couple questions for you.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Okay, we're really close to the 9 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and discuss an act on service contract agreement, Aging Partners Care Management Renewal and Interlocal Agreement. Lori, do you have some guests with you this morning too? Do you need to pull up another chair? And then all we would ask for is name, please.
Lori
Who-
Byers, York County Aging Services, and Christina Keeping, Care Manager.
Thank you.
And we have finally gotten these contracts settled. There were some changes suggested submitted by the attorney's office. And now Aging Partners has gotten those changes made, and so the contract is now ready for signature. There are 2 contracts actually that we're signing. One first is the interlocal agreement between the City of Lincoln, Nebraska, and York County. And this is our annual contract that we sign every year, and that is so that we here at York County Aging Services we contract with Lincoln to do services here in York County, including like the congregate meals and other things. And then the second contract is the annual renewal for the care management services, which Christina is going to be doing. And that is also an annual contract. So we have both of those for your signature, if you agree.
Okay. And as you stated, they did go through the county attorney's
They
office
did.
and everything
Yes.
is good there?
Yep.
Okay. And gentlemen, you had those in your packet, so you should have been able to review both of those.
And then I have one for you to sign.
All right. And we'll just take them one at a time if we
Okay.
can. So the first one up would be the York County Aging Service Interlocal Agreement between City of Lincoln and York County. And this one runs from July 1 of 2023 through June 30th. It's just a year, isn't it?
Yes, just 1 year.
There we go, there it is.
Which one are you looking at?
The interlocal agreement, the York Aging Service Interlocal Agreement, City of Lincoln and York County. This, I believe this is for the care manager, isn't it?
No, the other one is for the care manager.
Okay.
Cause the one I have for the interlocal says that it runs through 28.
That is the, there's an interlocal agreement that runs for like, what, 3
Yeah,
years?
the interlocal just is expiring, and so we
Okay.
did a new 5-year interlocal
Mhm.
to be a little bit less administratively burdensome.
Mhm.
And then Lori's right, then there's annual 1-year sub-award that awards down state dollars to York County for congregate meals, home delivered meals,
Okay.
those types of services.
And this is that annual sub-award.
And so do we need to also approve the 5-year interlocal?
I think that was done last year.
No, this is a new
This would
5-year.
be a
This is
new
a
one.
5-year,
Yeah,
okay.
the one snuck up on us.
Okay. I snuck up on the,
Yes, we would have to. I see the date in here is the, July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2028.
okay.
And that is for the chairman to sign.
And nothing major has changed, there was just some wording changes is what there was. So, first off, you wanna take the City of Lincoln and York County interlocal agreement, 5-year agreement?
Yes,
And I would make a motion that we approve the chairman's signature.
thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Brooks.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
And Overbaugh.
Yes, and then next up, we have the care management service contract. City of Lincoln, this is a renewal. This is July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. Expenditures for the City of Lincoln Agent Partners for the term of this renewal shall not exceed $10,000 without prior approval by the City of Lincoln. And this is a yearly one, once again, too.
And this is just a part of the normal aging budget item now, or is it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, any questions, other questions for Lori? Entertain a motion to go forward.
So moved, Randy.
Thank you, Jack.
Second.
Thank you, Stan. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sykes,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Now, before you step down, do we need to also approve so we approved the 5-year interlocal, do we also have a, yearly sub-award on that one that we need to approve? Or not?
There is, and I'm
But
not
we-
sure if it's in your
Okay,
packet.
right.
Jill and I were just talking, we'll double check back at our office where it is in process.
Okay, very good.
We thought it had gotten sent out, but we'll double check.
I think if I forwarded, it is attached in your agenda items. And it didn't have, but it looks like I failed to actually print it.
So we have the budget request, and then we had the interlocal and the care management renewal, or
We have 3 attachments in there.
Yeah, 2 of them are related to the interlocal agreement.
That's the care management one.
So the bottom 2 are the ones we just approved. The top one's your budget request for the coming year. Is that what that document is then?
Sorry, I can't read it from here.
Mhm.
It's just a
it's
letter.
it's just a letter from City of Lincoln.
Okay. So that would have been the 5-year and the care manager is what we
Right,
approved. So you'll check on the 1
We
year.
will, right as soon as we get that.
Okay.
Very good.
That's all we can do today.
And
then.
then
Yep.
now we have their 9 o'clock thing. These were supposed to be 2 separate things, but they were merged together.
Okay.
Very good. That's all right. They get in the way.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kay Wenzel, and I'm the Assistant Director at Aging Partners located in Lincoln. And
My name is Jill Engel, and I am the program coordinator. I help oversee some of the our
Okay.
county programs.
we are here this morning with our annual county board report for York County. This provides just some data and background for you regarding all of the tremendous work that Lori and her team, including Christine, have been working on. Christine is a new member, but is catching on and going gangbusters, I believe. The work has been pretty steady. We've gotten a little over 650 clients, unduplicated clients served throughout a most recent 12-month period. We ran data from April 1 of 2022 to March 30 of 2023 to get a close 12-month figure, but it's very stable regardless of what 12-month data set we pull. Lori and her team are reaching, as you can tell from that last graph on the front page, over half of the persons in York County who are 65 and impoverished, meaning they're at 133% of federal poverty level or below. 150% of federal poverty level or below. So that is a real good number, and I know that she and the team strive to increase that percentage as much as possible over the years. We are requesting from Aging Partners $40,225 for this year, which is an increase of 2.5% from our most recent 12-month period of 2022. It goes to support and combines with federal and state funding that comes to the program at York County Services. I know she receives the Nebraska Department of Transportation to support the Rural Transit Program and local private funds and contributions. I wanted to highlight on the next page page some of the areas that York County is exceeding in terms of Medicare D reviews. Over 135 Medicare D reviews to assist persons as they select a new Medicare D plan that best fits with their income and the medications that that person is on. This service is huge in York County. It allows the person to really select a plan that best meets their needs and provides the most coverage for their current prescription drug plan, and goes to save them thousands of dollars over the course of the year in terms of if they had selected one that didn't offer as much benefit. And there is specialized training that's offered through the Nebraska Department of Insurance that staff complete in order to provide that specialized counseling service. The senior center and the meal sites are doing well with almost 4,700 meals provided this last year. Some of the other highlights I wanted to point out is that York has hired a new care manager, Christine, and Aging Partners is involved in providing training and support and technical assistance through that process. The Rural Transit Program is one of our stronger networks in our service area. And the York Services Program continues to serve communities outside of the York area, including McCool Junction and Bradshaw, with home delivered or congregate meal programs. Lori's also indicated interest in implementing a to-go meal program, which Aging Partners recently received state approval to offer throughout our service area. So we're working with Lori and other county program managers that want to implement that service. It was developed and implemented during the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was quite popular with many seniors where it was not feasible during that time for them to attend a congregate meal site, but they still needed that meal and were able to basically drive through, pick up their hot meal and take it home. I know, I'm not sure in York, but in some communities, people would, sit in their cars far apart and socialize while they dined, which was a nice feature for them to be able to see people during that period of time. But the federal government, surprisingly decided that service was good for seniors, and it was another option for people who were not able for whatever reason to attend a congregate meal site, but were able to get somewhere and pick up a meal or have someone pick it up for them and bring it home. So we're working through some of those internal processes related to budgeting and our data management system to get that service going. I am happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Anybody have any questions this morning? Everything's going good apparently.
Yeah, I think we've turned a good page here.
Okay.
Especially with hiring Christina, and we've offered our support, office support position as well, and that person will start on August 10th. So we will be fully
Full
staffed.
staff.
Yeah, I know it's been a struggle this past year with staffing, and so I think Lori and her team should be very proud of all the accomplishments at undergoing staffing changes and difficulties. It's hard to maintain quality programs during those times.
Okay, so I think the only thing is just look into that other agreement.
Yeah, we will look at that right away.
We can always get it on the next agenda if need be.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for your time
Mm-hmm.
and your funding.
Okay, next up we have discuss and act on Pool Junction request for improvement funds. Bob?
Bob Sauter, York County Visitors Bureau Director.
Kurt Cogswell on McCool Junction.
And I think I included these in your packets. If I didn't,
Yeah, you did.
You did.
I did.
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
Ryan Underwood, McCool Junction.
All right, thank you. Floor is yours, gentlemen.
Well, we had an application brought before us at our last board meeting last week, which was unanimously approved to recommend to you, except for one abstention. So I'll let Curtis answer any questions or tell you a little bit about the project.
No, we just decided we needed something for family, recreation outside of our park and McCool Junction, we understood that a pool was probably not an affordable option for us, so the splash pad. And we have a strong, community foundation. We've already raised over $100,000 for the project. We'll continue to raise funds for it, but we're sure hoping that, we'll have it in operation by, next spring.
Anything else? Brian, do you got anything?
No,
Put you on the spot here.
we're just trying to make McCool Junction viable for families and anyone in the county. And we're thinking of adding a disc golf course in the same area, you know, and so with baseball and softball games going on, maybe some families would utilize the splash pad during that. Also, if people are playing disc golf, you know, just trying to bring families into our community and give them things to do and benefit our community and the county in that way.
We're glad they're being proactive. Any reunions, anybody attending Mustang Roundup days would probably be utilizing the lodging properties in York County. So we would benefit.
And then like we told, the presentation last week, you know, the majority of things that happen in McCool Junction, like I said, there's an event at Stone Creek and the number of weddings we're invited to, it's either at Stone Creek or Holtis. And the visitor's card always shares the hotel connections are here in York County. So my thought process, even as a former superintendent, I always said this, when McCool Junction wins, York County wins. When York wins, York County wins. So we all support each other. And that's how we got to stick together in rural. So we appreciate your support and hopefully we'll continue to see McCool Junction and York County grow.
As they talked, Visitors Committee did take this up last week. We did have one abstention, and that is because of a father of a daughter that was presenting, so he abstained. It was unanimous. We are carrying roughly $300,000, I think, in that account right now in the improvement fund. There'll be a payout, our last payout to the playground this next month, which will take it down to 200. But the talk centered around, you know, McCool is trying, and we do have a little bit of money. Do we want to get into buying splash pads at every community? Well, we kind of opened that door when we started doing some playgrounds. We did the playground up at the fairgrounds, and you know, we did to the park system up in Gresham. So we felt that it was somewhat of a reward to the communities that are really trying hard. So it was, other than the one abstention, it wasn't unanimous to grant them $15,000. But that's up to this board, so. Any other questions, comments?
How much was the request?
15,000, yes, sir. It's roughly just under 200,000.
Right.
And this, I learned something at the meeting, that this is a non-reservoir splash pad. If you get a reservoir, then they gotta treat them like swimming pools, and the state's in there, and there's testing, and so this is a water consumption. And did you throw out a figure of what is estimated? I mean, it seemed like a lot, but.
It seems like a lot, but yeah, one of the communities said that that's similar to our size and splash pad, about 850,000 gallons a month.
So, and that's not coming out of the Blue River. That's we assume it's not coming out of the Blue River. Sorry,
Is
Woody.
there a drainage field then that this?
Yeah, it's
Water
right,
goes
Woody's
into
right there in the park, and so we've got some areas and probably recycle out water for irrigation purposes and put it down.
It looks like a nice size. I mean, you got 50 by 30 and for the pad, and then you've got your overspray area. So, and a lot of active, couldn't tell really in the black and white pictures, but it looks like quite a complex splash pad.
And there was some talk at ours too, you know, York, the city of York just put one down at Harrison Park. And even though there's been some water restrictions, I don't think you can go by there on the weekend in the afternoon and there's not 20 kids. I mean, it's well received, well used. I
It's not
assume
just
you're,
kids.
yeah, not just kids, you're right. You've been there then, Bob?
I'm not qualified as a kid.
Okay.
No, I have not been there. Driving by.
No, I think it's a very nicely laid out, looking at the pictures and everything, it looks like it'll be a fun area. Just always interesting how much, I mean, we're none of us are immune to it, I don't think, but, you know, it's just every time that expenditures come through, it's like, wow, things cost a lot of money anymore.
Amen. Amen.
Does there have to be supervision there?
No. And that's a good question, but that was a question asked by our village board too. There does not, and all these systems have timer systems on there, so they can shut down at nights. So they're only open access during the daytime. So
So how do you prevent vandalism?
Oh, good question, but same on your parks. There is a former school superintendent, just like your playground equipments, and we've been pretty blessed in our community to not experience that. And I was a superintendent in McCool Junction for 20 years, and we didn't lock up our tracks or our facilities, and thank God, I never had any vandalism occur.
Does it, will it turn on, say, at 10 o'clock and just run, or is there a button that
There actually is
you
a
push
button
to
that you push
activate it,
that-
or-
That's, yes. So, yeah, it just isn't ongoing,
Right,
yeah,
yep.
but that's a great question.
Yeah.
But we're learning a lot about splash
Yeah,
pads too as we go along. So, again, it's like Ryan shared, we're just trying to create opportunities. And the one thing that, as you come down to our community, you'll see that our foundation's been very strong. You know, we've had a number of visitors from the state that have came to the school and said, how did you double the size of your school with private donations? Because I said, because we have a strong foundation. And so, and we're gonna continue that. And so, we've got a housing development going up. We're gonna continue to grow.
Sure.
And so, it's gonna benefit you, but it benefits us all.
Yeah.
Because we got young people like this young man, and our foundation is made up of a lot of 30 and 40-year-olds. The old guys like me are going off. And the young people are taking the torch and going.
Very good, yeah, I think it's awesome, I think it's a good, project. I think it's awesome that your foundation's already got more than half, probably, you could say. So based on the project and the, visitors board's recommendation, I would make a motion that we approve the request of $15,000.
Thank you, Daniel.
A second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
And Overmark.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we're discussing act on designating a printer for our postcards to comply with LB 644. And it is the recommendation, as we've seen, that we use the state. I believe, is there a proper?
State print shop?
State print shop. That is something that is on the horizon, coming close. We don't know where we land yet, nor do the other political subdivisions, but there are some changes, and I would recommend that if anybody hasn't seen the video or wasn't on the webinar, you can go to the NACO site and view that webinar by John and Candace, and shows the changes, but this is one of the rules that we have to have them done, you know. And they were estimating cost to be right at 45 cents a postcard that would have to be sent out, so we have to designate that, so State Print Shop.
We used them last year, and I mean, I think as far as I know, they delivered and it went well.
And they have enough stock.
Okay,
The
yep,
pink
the,
cars, they have enough stock.
Fuchsia or magenta or
And
whatever.
what they do is bill NACO, and then NACO bills us, so it's.
Okay. Yep. So I would, based on previous experience and the recommendation of the treasurer or the clerk and the assessor, I would make a motion that we use the State Print Shop as the printer for the LB 644 postcard.
Thank you, Daniel.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Was this requirement discussed at a local level? Would it go to the local print shops to see what they would charge for this service?
I don't know, did we get pricing last year? I don't know that it was this year. I can't remember. It seems like we did a little bit of research last year.
I don't remember, because I think it was all new, and it was kind of rushed, so we just went right to the state, because they knew what they were doing, and they knew all the information that was needed to be on the, postcards.
I think part of that problem is that time frame, that very strict time frame in there. You know, those numbers got to be in by the 4th, which is Labor Day this year, and then, you know, the postcard's got to be out 10 days prior to any meeting, which needs to take place between the 14th and the 24th. And, you know, this company is set up, and it's also one that's working hand in hand with NACO, and so it was just kind of a natural fit. So no, I don't believe there was much more than that, and it's such a timely thing that I think most all counties, it seems like, are going that way.
Last year, there was a lot of confusion with the numbers that were on that. I assume, again, that was a timing issue, I'm thinking, you know, but has that been resolved with Kurt taking over and working through the levy numbers that are gonna be going on?
Well, yeah, because now it doesn't go through the clerk's office, it just goes right to the assessor's office. So it doesn't have that middle person again, so it goes right to them. And we did have a deputy assessor that, you know, it was all new to everyone, so it was really quite confusing for a lot of people. I think Lancaster County had some areas too, so just a new process that.
So just so the numbers are right.
Yep.
A lot of phone calls went to the superintendents of schools.
There was some sticker shock,
Yeah,
2 of them.
huge sticker shock.
There will be a informal meeting at the 1st of August of the participants all political subdivisions will be invited to this informal meeting to discuss the changes and what's expected and stuff like that. It's LB 644 is, I don't know. Senator Hansen thinks it's a great deal. It does nothing to stop us from passing our budget. Our budget we can adopt next month, even prior to the postcard bill. It's just a transparency type thing. And it's a cost. The one section in there that is not reimbursed is the publication that the county's required to do, and that's not reimbursed. The other we can reimburse, the postcards, anybody that participates in the postcard, we split that up and we get reimbursed for it. But publication is, I mean, granted, it's probably $500-600 or something like that. It's not, but it's still, we don't have a choice and we don't get reimbursed. Kind of is. But this is like I say, we just need this done. But did we have a date on this one too? Was it in August we had to have this done by? Yeah, to get that one done.
Oh, there's Kurt, yeah, any discussion?
Any other questions? Yeah.
First and second.
Roll call.
Brooks.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
And Overmar.
Yes, okay. Next up, we have discuss and act on affordable housing drawdown number 9 for $27,518.63.
Last time, we didn't approve the admin fee or something? Is that in this
No.
one or not, or?
No,
Okay.
it's kind of confusing.
Yep.
We have to okay what the housing committee
Yep,
okayed.
sure.
So that hasn't come down yet. So this is what we okayed like a month or two ago.
Sure. Yep.
6/30/23.
Yeah. And then we're doing this one.
And these are all projects that have been completed.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it is. There was a roofing, an exterior, and then Cridle Enterprises, so some form of AC, HVAC, something.
Move to approve drawdown number 9.
Thank you,
Second.
thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Brooks.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Overmar.
Yes. And next up, we need to discuss and act on extending the grant contract with the owner occupied housing rehab. This was due to phase out this next month. They're asking for an extension for 1 year. So if we could go to August, whatever the date is, of 2024,
11 maybe?
with no other applicants being received after August of like 11th or 13th of this next month. You know, and talked to Jim Whirlman on the phone yesterday with Send, and they feel like they have enough in the pipeline to exhaust the remainder of the funds. And they also feel like things are rolling much better now, and they should be ahead of that schedule. So we should go a full another year and eliminate that one, which is good because we have another one just getting going. And it'd be nice to get one done and while the other one is just getting going. So this year we take a motion to extend that contract.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
The only question that I had was what the reasoning behind extending but not extending the application deadline, but you touched on that we've got projects that are approved that should get us through the funds, so very
And
good.
at some point in time, you gotta quit taking applications.
Right, yep,
And I know that there was a push here a couple months ago when
Yep.
they were trying to get some of the outer
yep,
communities to get involved, and I believe there was some of that happen in maybe Gresham and Waco. A little bit more activity, I think, so, that worked. So hopefully we can get her finished up.
excellent.
Roll call.
Sykes.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
And Overmar.
Yes. Next up, discuss and act on extending, or discuss and act on the SEND duplication of benefits certification for Four Corners. Lori, you've been sitting here being patient the whole time, and just loving our meetings.
I am, I'm enjoying it, and you all look so fine this morning.
Thank you.
It's been very pleasant, so.
We have in front of us on this one, I did talk to Tom Bliss yesterday about this one also, and we have some forms to fill out and sign, as does Laura, and I asked Laura if she wouldn't stop down and visit with us just a little bit about the project. I know that this is gonna throw a number of $355,000, the grant number out, and then as we talked yesterday on the phone, there's more funds than that too, so can you just talk a little bit about the project and where the stages it's in?
Sure, thank you, and so we.
Just name too, sorry.
Yes,
I
Laura
threw it out there.
McDougall, 5 Country Club Terrace, Four
Thank you.
Corners Director, yes. So we did have a board meeting last night, and caught our board up to speed on everything. We have, since we've talked, we have secured a performance criteria developer who's basically an architect who helps us identify a design builder for the project. So, and go through there's a lot of regulations that go with federal money. And so we're making sure we're carefully crossing all of our T's and dotting all of our I's. We had to qualify some design builders, and this all required notice put in the newspapers and things, and issued RFPs and letters of interest and all kinds of things. So to cut to the chase, we last night we had done some interviewing and voted on the design builder that we'll move forward with now to negotiate with to start designing what the project is going to look like and do the construction as well. So it's an architect, construction manager firm that was selected to move forward. So we're at the step now, we're going to actually start putting pencil to paper and designing the renovations.
And as we talked a little bit, this is a project that we're seeing $355,000 come through York County and go to you, but it is a bigger project than
Yes.
just the $355,000.
So we also have some ARPA funds that the Nebraska State Legislature allocated to our health department that we have selected to use those for this building project. And that is the total sum is $555,000 of ARPA funding that we have had to use some of that funding for just in responding to the COVID with vaccines and things, but we're trying to use as much as possible of that sum to also include in our building project. We also have some immunization funds that we're going to have. We're hoping by the end of the day, we're going to have at least $1 million to work on the building project with these three funding sources, but they're all federal monies.
And so as me and Laura talked yesterday too, because this money is flowing through us, we have to keep track and audit it. So it'll be very imperative on their part to make sure it'll be tough.
Well,
Keeping everything separate,
Yes.
so we have the track to know where everything
And I have been very fortunate with my board. The individual, his name is Andy Widman. He's who has served as our performance criteria developer. He is going to stay and walk alongside me, and he is also going to serve as the Four Corners owner representative. He is going to also be assisting in tracking all these three funding sources so that everything is very transparent and we can prove, exactly every funding source, we use it for one purpose and we're not, and it's very clear that there was no duplication of benefits or anything.
And as you all know, we're just one of 4 counties on this, so it's nice that we're kind of solidifying that they will stay here now, because nothing says they have to be in York County, but bringing that building up to code and spending that type of money on it should ensure that they should be in our town for the foreseeable future.
This is the building over on Division.
No, this is
Lincoln Avenue.
the old medical clinic,
Okay.
just north of Charlie's USAFE.
Yeah.
It should get it up to code and heating
going
and
to be-
air and
Yes.
concrete, and there's just a list of things to get it up to snuff.
It's going to be a much nicer space and with heat.
With heat. Don't need that right now, but in the future, we will. So we do have 3 things. We have duplication of benefits affidavit, we have subrogation agreement, and then we have duplication of benefits certification for CDBG CV funds. 3 separate things that we need to approve here and sign and then get back, and then you have your own. Did you guys take care of yours
Yes,
already?
I have it actually. I got it. Everything was passed last night that I can fill it all out as well. And I noticed on the subrogation agreement, we have to sign the same form, it looks like, so maybe we can do that together.
Right. Yeah, one of them was the same, the other 2 were local and nonprofit. Okay, so let's take the duplication of benefits affidavit first.
Move to approve, is that what you need, or a motion for a signature?
Motion for signature to sign, yeah.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Brooks.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Ziegler. Fair.
Yes.
And Omenauer.
Yes. Next one is subrogation agreement. The first one needs to be notarized. Did the subrogation need to be notarized also? That one we'll have to do.
I don't think so.
No, I don't see it on there, Liz. Okay. So this is chief elected officer again.
Motion to approve signature?
Thank you, Daniel.
Second.
Thank you, Stan. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Brooks.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Omenauer.
Yes, and duplication of benefit certification for the CDBG CV funds. And this one, once again, is just elected official.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sykes.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Omenauer.
Yes. Hard to believe that when we heard about this at the first of the year, we was gonna have the whole project done by the end of the budget year, and we're just now signing paperwork.
Yes, and they have extended though the grant funds for until 2025, so that will be helpful.
Well, in your ARPA fund, you have till 26 to expend.
Yes, yes.
I assume same rules for you as for us.
And as I submit my documents, I will make sure you're copied on them as well, so you
Okay.
have.
Okay, we'll sign, I've got to sign the one in front of a notary. You have a copy that is, you have signed yours already?
I'm going to go do it with a notary here after this meeting.
Okay. The subrogation though, that one
Oh,
we signed
yes,
together.
we should sign that together.
Okay, so we're almost done there. so
Okay, I'll just
keep
hang
hanging
around. Thank you.
Okay, we got most everything else taken care of, other than committee reports and quarterly jail visits. So we could shoot and get the committee reports done and then do our jail visit and call it a day. Anybody want to start? Daniel, you probably want
Sure.
to tell them all about budget stuff, don't you?
You betcha, let's dive in. So we can start with budget. All the departments and elected officials turned in budgets to the budget committee. We met and reviewed those. We went back to a number of those department heads and elected officials and asked that there be some cuts in a number of those budgets. We have received back a number of those revised proposed budgets. So this afternoon we'll meet with Jill to go over all those numbers and kind of see where we fall regarding our lid exemptions and where we're at with the lid, and kind of see how we're falling with the budget. And then I believe we were having a discussion, well, before that, we'll hope to have the budget numbers in front of the whole board by the 1st of August. And then in our first meeting in August, we would have a open discussion with the board regarding that budget. Attended YCDC executive meeting. The board meeting full board meeting is at lunch today. Tech meeting, we met, discussed a number of things. The new website is hopefully set to go live on Friday. So anybody can browse out there this next weekend and take a look and see the new refreshed online presence for York County. I did reach out to our IT providers regarding the .gov email transition and getting together, making sure that all the panic buttons are working. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get all parties connected yet, but we'll continue to work on that. So hopefully here this week we can get together with both parties and get a plan moving forward for transitioning the whole email over to .gov. It was brought to my attention by a concerned resident that had discussions with other concerned residents regarding employee parking. And I know that some utilize the parking around the courthouse. And so it was just said, hey, maybe bring it up that that there are residents that are noticing that employees are utilizing the front parking of the courthouse. I don't know that there's anything I don't know that we can say you can't park there, but just want to bring it up that there are residents that are noticing. And the other thing that I wanted to just kind of toss out there, we're talking about ARPA, and I know that it's an ongoing thought in most of our minds probably on what are we going to spend this money on as we go through the budget process. It'll some of that money may fall into different places, but I don't know that this would be an option, but it was something that crossed my mind, and so I thought I'd toss it out there for everybody to kind of start tossing in their mind. But if we come up with a way to set up some sort of York County scholarship fund to, I don't know what that would look like, but to seniors, 1, 2, however many we would decide that, there'd have to be a criteria of what they would have to meet for that. But, and like I said, you had mentioned the federal money and tracking, and so I don't know that it would be something that would fall under that, but it was just something that came to my mind, thought I'd throw it out there. And during the tech meeting, it was talked about maybe using some of the ARPA funds to revamp this room, get some different chairs, bring in a little bit more technology, TV and Elmo. So a couple things to just kind of keep thinking about as we think about ARPA money. I've rambled long enough, I'll shut up now.
Stan?
Region 5 didn't meet and Blue Valley didn't meet, so I don't know too many meetings there. And I met with Harvey this morning a little bit. Nothing new that you didn't hear. And I met with Dustin from NPPD, had a long discussion with him one afternoon, and that's about it.
Veterans will be meeting next week, so I'll be there. The tech, you heard from Daniel, we have been in contact looking at a different vendor to provide internet access, phone access, and so we're getting those numbers soon, I think, so that can be part of the budget process. Spent a couple hours with the York Community Development Corporation people, and Stan did yesterday and stuff too, so just trying to get a feel for what's going on in that. That's it.
Jack?
Well, the VFW meeting coming up, the Veterans meeting coming up. Since we just met last week, we won't talk about the 911 joint communications, but we did have Four Corners meeting last night, which was very instructive and went very well. Laura and her cohorts presented the propositions that we passed. So good thing to get that started. We need to make that building not only comfortable, but accessible for handicaps. And that's top of the list. I don't have anything else.
Okay, I did just in my box today, so I haven't had really a chance to look through it very much, but I'd reported back that, you know, the city's going through some blighted, not only City of York, but Bradshaw had sent some stuff in also. I'm trying to do some TIF work, and so I do have some paperwork here if you'd like to see it. It looks like there'll be a planning commission meeting Tuesday, August 8th at 5:15 at the City of York building, and then it'll be on the city council agenda Thursday, August 17th. So that's pertaining to the blighted and substandard areas that they're trying to achieve, obviously in town here. Budget has been a lot. That's probably about the best way to put it. And this afternoon, hopefully we get through it in a couple hours and get it off, and Jill can do her work, and then we can kind of see where we lay after that. As Daniel stated, I would like to see us the 8th and the 22nd hold budget talks, both of those meetings, because we have recommended some cuts, and some of the cuts have came in, some of the cuts have not came in, and that will give the elected and or department heads an opportunity to come in here during a public meeting and state why they want what they want, and we'll obviously state why we want what we want, and then we can take it from there. I would also like to see LB 644, to my understanding, does not prohibit us from passing our budget and working through that. So I'd like to see at our last meeting in the 22nd of the month to go ahead and kind of hone in on that for our budget hearing day. And then we see where we fall out with the postcards, and we go through there. But according to Kurt, I seen you cringe a little bit. According to the webinar, nothing stops us from doing our budget. This is just, you know, we can approve it. We just can't send it in until we have a public meeting. So that's kind of where I'd like to see us go. Dr. Crawford, Sue Crawford from the city had sent in, as most of you are aware, we are in a joint with the landfill, and they're going through a study out there, a rate study. Daniel, I believe you got this too, and so there's probably, it says it hasn't been done for a few years, so there's probably higher rates coming at our landfill. Surprise. Zoning. I did talk with Nate. Nate is in the room here. They are getting, it sounds like, the zoning rules or recommendations from the zoning board together. So that, I assume that meeting should be coming here in the near future. We do have a zoning meeting on some conditional use permits this week, Friday. And that is 2, I believe. Is there 2 of them? So that is this week. I did attend visitors. As you all seen, Kurt turned in a list of cemeteries. It's quite a lengthy list. You forget that there's that many around there, but Kurt had to do that and got that done. So I don't think I'm missing anything. I'd like to say budget has been the most of what we've done. Anything? Nothing. Okay. Well, at this time, then we will recess to do our jail visits. Oh, sorry.
Do we have to do that fees report at item 17?
No.
Okay.
No, that's just information. Yeah. So we'll come back in after the jail visits and dismiss, but at this time we will recess to do our jail visits. And I'll sign that paper so you